Okay, you've probably heard the term AI agent popping up everywhere lately, and honestly, it can sound pretty futuristic, maybe a little intimidating. But what if I told you it's actually a really simple idea? Let's break it down, step by step, starting with the AI you already know and use every single day.
So you're definitely using AI. I mean, if you've ever used ChatGPT or something similar, you're in the club. But an AI agent? That feels like a totally different beast, right? So what is it? What's the big deal? Let's find out.
The best way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like leveling up. We're going to start with level 1, the stuff you already get. Then we'll build on that for level 2, and finally, level 3. I promise, by the end of these 3 simple steps, the whole idea of an AI agent is going to totally click. All right, let's kick things off with level 1, the AI you're already familiar with. We're talking about large language models, or as you've probably heard, LLMs. This is the powerful engine humming behind the scenes of tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. The way these things work is, super simple. You give it some input, that's your prompt. The LLM does its magic, and it spits out a text output. That's it. You ask it to draft a quick email to set up a coffee chat, and boom, there's your email. Easy, right? Okay, but here's where we hit a wall. What happens if you ask it something personal, like this? It's gonna stumble, isn't it? And the reason is really simple. It has no idea what's on your Google Calendar. It's totally locked out of your private, real-time information. And that really highlights 2 fundamental things about these standard LLMs. First, their knowledge is walled off. They don't know your personal life or your company's internal data. And second, they're completely passive. They just sit there and wait for you to tell them what to do. Now, hang on to those 2 points, because they are the key to understanding everything that comes next. So, if LLMs have these limitations, how do we get around them? Well, that brings us to level 2, AI workflows. The best way to picture this is we're literally putting the AI on a set of tracks, giving it a very specific, predefined path to follow so we can do more complex stuff. So with a workflow, you, the human, set the path. You could tell it, hey, from now on, whenever I ask about an event, your first step is to check my Google Calendar. Awesome, now it can find your coffee chat. But what if you then ask what the weather will be like that day? It's stuck. It's on the calendar track, and there's no weather report on that track. It can only do what you told it to. Now, you might hear this fancy-sounding acronym RAG thrown around in this context. Don't let the jargon scare you. It's just a specific kind of AI workflow. All RAG means is that the AI has a predefined path to go look something up from an outside source, like your calendar or a company database, before it gives you an answer. That's it. Let's make this concrete. Check out this real-world workflow. A person could set up a chain of commands. Step 1, go to this Google Sheet and grab all the news article links. Step 2, take those links over to an AI called Perplexity and get them summarized. And step 3, feed those summaries to another AI, Claude, to draft some social media posts. See? It's a perfect assembly line, all designed by a human.
But here is the absolute most important takeaway for level 2. A human is still the one in charge. A human is the decision maker. If those social media posts from Claude aren't funny enough, you have to go back in, manually change the prompt, and run the whole thing again. The AI is just following orders.
Okay, we've covered the basics, we've built our foundation. Now it's time for level 3, the main event, AI agents. This is where we go from telling the AI what to do to letting the AI actually take the wheel. So what's the giant leap from a workflow to an agent? You're gonna love how simple this is. It is just one single change. In a workflow, the human is the decision maker. In an agent, you put the LLM in charge of the decisions. That's it. That's the whole jump. The AI goes from being a tool to being the project manager. So how on earth does it manage that? Well, an agent really does 2 main things. First, it reasons. It literally thinks to itself about the best way to tackle a problem. It might go, okay, to make these social posts, the smartest first step is to check that Google Sheet. Then it acts. It actually goes out and uses the tools at its disposal, Google Sheets, Perplexity, Claude, to execute the plan that it just came up with. And that brings us to another one of those technical terms that's suddenly going to make perfect sense, the React framework. It's just a combination of those 2 skills, reason and act. It's the most common way to build an agent because it gives the AI the power to both think and do. And this is where the real power of an agent comes into play. It's an autonomous loop. It doesn't just do a task once and stop. It reasons and acts to create a first draft. But then it does something incredible. It observes its own work. It can literally critique itself. Is this post good enough? Let me check some examples of what works on LinkedIn. And if the answer is no, it doesn't wait for you. It jumps right back into the loop and iterates, trying again and again until it achieves the goal.
Okay, so let's put it all together now. Let's see all 3 levels of AI side by side so it's crystal clear. So here's the entire journey. At level 1, the simple LLM, the human is the decision maker. At level 2, the AI workflow, the human is still the decision maker, but the AI can follow a strict path. But when we get to level 3, the AI agent, the LLM itself takes over as the decision maker, figuring out its own path to autonomously achieve a goal. And that's really the fundamental shift here. We've gone from giving AI simple instructions to giving it complex goals. And if these agents can reason, act, and improve all by themselves to hit those goals, it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? What kind of incredibly ambitious goals are we going to be giving them next?